Hello everyone, this is Ahmad GHL Boy, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to configure or create form or a survey inside GoHighLevel so that you can embed that form or survey on your website. Doesn't matter if you have created your website within GoHighLevel or outside of GoHighLevel. You can use a GoHighLevel forms or survey either way. So first of all, the difference between forms and surveys is like the main difference is inside a form you can have only one slide, so you will have to list all of your questions on the one slide, so and then you can just submit. On the other hand, while you are using surveys, so inside the surveys you can have multiple slides, and then on one slide you can have either one question or at one slide, or you can have multiple questions to be displayed on one slide and then they hit next to go to the other slide, so you can have multiple slides. It's more like a questionnaire. So that's like the main difference between forms and the survey. So in today's video, let's just dive into it and see how we can configure both of those.
The GoHighLevel boy, Ahmad.
Ahmed at the GHL
The
Boy.
GHL Boy, Ahmad.
Rashid. Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you to the rest of your team.
To create the form, you have to navigate to sites, and then on the top you see the forms. Let's just go to builder, and then you click on the top right that says add form. When you click on that, you have the two options, either to create from scratch or you can choose from template. So the template would be little customized with the different colors and the styling, but let's just start from the scratch. So this is how the form builder is gonna look like. So let's just name it as my first form. Let me just delete all of this so that okay, so on the top left, this is where we add our fields or our questions. So here we have two main options, the quick add, which are the default fields of GoHighLevel, like full name, like their basic information. So you can grab all of them from here until this. So for example, if I want to ask, let's say full name, I can just drag it here and then let's say this, and then I can ask for the date of birth or phone. Let's do phone, and then we do email. So here we have, and then we can also have the submit button definitely. And so inside the forms, you can also add your products to sell. You can use collect payment option as well. So where a customer can pay as they want. So, but right now we will be just looking the main custom fields. So these are the basic and the quick add ones. So now let's just add the custom fields. The custom fields are like which are not available on the quick add. For example, if you want to ask some customized question based on your business or your requirement. So for that, what we do is here, let's just go to add. Let me show you here as well. So these custom fields can be linked with opportunities or contacts. Right now, we will be just discussing the forms which are linked to contacts. So let's just click on add, and these are the fields which are available at the moment inside GoHighLevel to create your form. So the first one is single line, which is going to look like this. So you can create any question for this single line. For example, if I am going to create a single line, it would be, let's say, title or anything, whichever you want, and then we will have to put them into a group. So let me show you how we can create the group as well. Let me just save it right here, and if we go back, let's go to settings, and then we have to look for custom fields right here, and then we can add a folder. Let's call it my first form. And again, it has to be linked with contact. So now that we have created a folder, and let me show you where these folders are going to be implemented. So when you open up any contact, these are the folders. If you see here, contact, general info, additional info, my first quiz, and holidays. So here is the folder that we created. So now all the questions that we will be using in that form, we will be placing that into this folder. So let's just go to sites, back, forms, builder. And we have our form right here, which is my first form. So on the top left, add custom fields. Let's add a new one. That's a single line. I'm gonna name it as title. And then group, I want to put them under my first form. The rest of the things you can leave them as it is. Let's save. Let's add this one, which is gonna show up right here. That's gonna say my first form. The title would go like this. So this is how the single line field is going to show up. And then the multiple line, that's gonna look like this, which has like a big box to type in. So if we create this one, let's call it description. I'm gonna put them again into my first form. Let's hit save. And it's gonna automatically show up into this folder, which is right here. So that's how it's gonna look like, and the user would be able to, drag it to make it more if they need. Then let's see the next one. This is text box list. So it's gonna look like this. That would be one question, but with the different, that list. So for example, brand colors. Okay, and if we do this, let's put into the same group my first form, and these are the lists. So for example, the first one I'm gonna say primary color, and then we can add another option that's gonna say secondary color. So here you would be able to add more lists based on your requirement. So let's see these two, and it's gonna show up right here, brand colors. So that's how it's gonna look like. There will be one question, brand colors, and then there is going to be a list for the text, and you would be able to type any text right here. So let's add another one that is here, and the next one. Now the next are related to the value. So if we do number, it's going to look like this, but you would be only able to type the numeric, like you cannot type alphabetic. So you will have to just only type numeric. So for example, this one, and let's call it kind of any number, for example account number or something. My first quiz, and there we go. So this is account number. It looks like the single line, but you won't be able to type anything else other than the numbers. But in that here in the text single line, you would be able to type anything like alphabetic, numeric, or special characters. But on the other hand, in this we can only type numeric. So let's just add new. So then there is the phone. So you would be able to type phone, but we already have a phone. So maybe we want to call it, let's say, business phone. And then let's put them under the same, my first form. And again, in the phone field, you will be only able to type the numbers because it has to be a phone. And then here you can have this option as well, validate phone number, but this is not available like here because that's just the account number, or that's a numeric field. But this one is the phone field, so you would be able to enable country picker as well, and then validate phone number. So let's go to the next one, add, which is monetary, and it's going to look like this. So this has to be specifically used for the amount. For example, let's call it monthly revenue. Okay, let's save. And then it's going to look like this. So here would be the dollar sign, but you are able to change this based on your sub account settings. So you can just go to your sub account settings and change the country from there. So right now it has selected USA, so that's why it's showing the dollar sign. Let's see which is the next one. The next one are related to the choosing option. So the first one is drop down single. So it would be a drop down, but you would be able to only select one option because it says single. Single means you can only select one option. For example, if we just do this, what state do you live in? And then let's put it under my first form. And then here, let's say we do California. And then let's do Alaska. So you are able to add like more depending on your requirement, but two would be enough to just give a demo. So there would be a drop down when we will be taking the preview. I will show you how it's going to look like. But let's add the next one, which is drop down multiple. It's going to look like the same as the drop down, but you would be able to select multiple options from here. So let's just call it what services uh, what services are you interested in? And then for the group, let's going to put it into there. And then here, let's say web design, automation, or let's say marketing, and then consultation. So you are able to add as many options as you want, and the customer would be able to select multiple from this. So if we just do this, here it is, and you are able to, and you can also just put the placeholder so that they know it's going to look like this. So for example, select one, or please select whatever you want to type. So it's going to look like this. And then here you can please select all that apply. Okay, and then we hit next, and then there is going to be radio select, which is going to look like kind of yes no question, but you are able to add as many options as you want. For example, if we just type here, what is your age group? Okay, and then we call it let's say 20 to 30 years, and then we call it 30 to 40 years, or the more appropriate would be 31, and then we call it 41 to 50 years. So you can have as many options as you want, and let's put it under my first form group. There it is. So it's going to look like this, but we will be able to only select one option from this. That's how the radio custom work. The next one is checkbox, which looks like kind of radio, but you would be able to select multiple questions, multiple options as well. For example, where did you hear about us? Let's put that under here. Friend or family. Maybe that's not the best question, but it would be enough to give an example. Or let's say YouTube, or let's say Facebook, let's say organic, or whatever you want to type in there. And then as it shows up here, so that's how it's gonna look like, but you are able to select multiple from this as well. Let's save it and go to the next one. The next one is file upload. So you would, it's gonna allow the customers to upload different type of files. So for example, uh, let's call it required, uh, or please attach any document or something. And then here, let's put them under my first group, and then you can only select what type of files you want to allow them, like only PDF or docs or JPG. But let's select all, and then if you want to allow them to upload multiple files, then you can just turn this on. And once you do that, then it's going to ask for maximum file limit. So if we type 50, so one would be able to upload 50 files of any type from this to into this custom field. So let's just do this. And It's going to show up right here, which is on more. Please attach any document. It's going to look like this. So they can just click here and upload different type of files. Let's just go to the next one. The next one is going to be signature, which is pretty straightforward. Let's call it signature and then put them under the right group. There is nothing else configuration to do with these custom fields because that's just kind of straightforward signatures. So here it is. There we go. They would be able to sign. And then the last one, I guess, was signature. Perfect. So once we save this, and then there is another important field that is recommended to be used. That would be terms and conditions. So that's gonna say checkbox for terms and condition, which is right here. So these are all the field that I just showed you. So here it is, terms and conditions. So you are able to just use that custom field as well, you know. So let's just put that down here. And then there is a date type picker field. And I think we missed that. So let's just see if we are going to add custom fields. So we did numeric, monetary, and then here is the date picker that we just missed. For example, we just do this. Let's call it anniversary or whatever you wanna call it. Let's put it into the right group. So this is going to allow the customers to pick a date from a calendar. Okay, so I think we put them under the right group, and the title was, let's just type in the search. It was anniversary. Let's see. Let me just save this. It should be somewhere here. So let's see. Anniversary, which is right here. There we go. So let's just put that under here. And it's gonna show up a calendar. As we go to some of the other custom fields in the quick add, as we scroll down to the bottoms. So here is a text field as well that you can just put it maybe on the top, which is gonna look like this. And you can just type anything here. Please submit your info or whatever you want to call them. So that's kind of a text field. And then there is an HTML field. If you want to add any kind of HTML code or something, you would be able to do that right here. But we don't need this at the moment. And then there is a captcha as well. So you are able to add this captcha as well. I think the best place for this is to put down on the bottom. So I'm going to remove it from here. And then let's just put that captcha right here. And then there is a score field. And this is how we can use this. And if we just place that score field right here, which is score, you are able to type anything here that you want. And then here under the advanced settings, you are able to change the name of the custom field if you want. But and then inside the calculations, you can add the fields to calculate, and only numeric fields will be available there. For example, if you're asking for their height and width, and then in this support you want to multiply them or create a formula, you would be able to select that. For example, select any field, and then if you want to multiply them, for example, multiply them with 5, and then you can select any other numeric field as well there. So that's how you can use the score field. Let's go. And then there is another option to upload the image. If you want, for example, on the top, you want to upload your logo or something, you would be able to do that. So just click here and you can just upload any kind of the, image that you want to be on your form. Yep. And I think rest of all the custom fields I have explained in details. And then Here we have conditional logics to implement. The conditional logics is if you want to display or remove any question based on the answer of the previous question. So here we have four conditions type. So the first one is redirect to URL. So if someone's select a specific answer, you can redirect them on the submission to a different URL. For example, if we just go to this, then they are gonna ask, here we can use the conditional logic. And then here you can just type the link. For example, if you just want to type ghlboy.com right here, and then you can just type a condition here. For example, if they select what is your age group is equal to, if they select 20 to 30 years, and then you can also apply and or, and then you can, the customer will be directed to this URL on the submission. So this is the redirect to a URL. And then display custom message, the same thing, but it's instead of redirecting them to a URL, you can just display a message based on the answer. For example, if they select what state do you live in is equal to, and here we have different options as well, is equal to, let's say if they select California, you can just type a message. Maybe we don't operate in your area or something, you know. So you can have a custom message based on the answer that the customer selected. And then the disqualified lead, what does this do is if based on the answer, for example, if they select this and then they select Alaska, then you can also do the show custom message, and then the lead will get disqualified. The disqualified mean the contact will not be created inside GoHighLevel for this submission if they select this option. So that does it mean by disqualified lead, and that lead is gets disqualified, the contact doesn't get created inside GoHighLevel. So like you don't want to follow with them or you don't want to have them inside your database. So the next one is show or hide fields. So what does that do is, for example, based on the answer, if they select what state do you live in is equal to California, we only want to show them the other question. For example, here we select what is your age group. So what's going to happen is if they select this option, only then this question will be shown. Otherwise, it will be hidden. So, or you can make it vice versa. For example, if you select hide, then what's going to happen if they select this question will get hide. But if they select the other option, then they will be seeing this option. So that's how you set conditional logics inside the forms. Let's just go back, and then here we have a notification settings. So what you can do is as soon as this form gets submitted, you can send a notification to yourself or to your manager who should look into this lead. So what does this do is receive an email when, so you just have to turn this on, email notification, and receive an email when someone fills out this form. Then you can just type a subject line here and then whoever you want to send this email to, for example, info@ghlboy.com. So what's going to happen is whenever these forms get submitted, an email will be sent to this email address with all the information that they have filled it out. And then you can reply to email as well. So reply to email means when this email will be get sent to this email, and if you want to reply back to that email, the reply will go to this email. And you are also able to add more emails right here. But what's going to happen is it display here as well. Only the first field will be used to send the emails. Rest of the email addresses will be added as CC. So if you see here, the first email address is designated for the to email. So only the email would be sent to this one, but rest of the next emails, they will be added as CC. And then here you can just type the sender name, which would be mostly like your business name. So, and then the autoresponder is it send an automated email to the person who submits this form. So whatever the customer type his email right here, a copy of this submission will be sent to that email to your customer. So this is for your customer and this notification is for yourself. So if you just turn this on here, you would be able to type the same kind of configuration. So this is all about the notification settings. And then when we see here, these are here, you can see the different versions of the forms. So right now, every time you save the form, it's get created as a version. So you would be able to see all of your versions right from here. And then this is just to undo. If you have made any changes mistakenly, you will be able to undo that. And then this is just to keep it redo. And then here we have the couple of different options. for the styling and different things. So first of all, if we go to style, here you can play around with the layout. If you want it to be field type would be full, and then if you select this, it's going to inline the form into the two columns. And then there is that says single line. That means is uh, as many fields as possible would be entitled into the single line. So let's keep this one, and then here you can play down the width and the box style and all that stuff. So the next option is colors and background. So you can play around with the colors and all the background images, that kind of styling stuff. And then under the miscellaneous, you can turn on the agency branding, or you can turn it off. If you just turn this on, if you scroll down to the bottom, you will see your agency icon right here. But if you just turn this off, no agency branding will be showing up there. And then there is advanced settings as well, in which you can play around with the styling and the layout of this whole form. And then if you want to imply any kind of CSS, you would be able to add that right here. So in order to customize anything, if you need the CSS to get added, you can just add them right here. So this is all about the styles. And then inside the theme, you are able to pick up any theme. So if you just select this one, so your whole form is going to convert it into that theme. So I'm gonna keep this one, which was the original. And you are also able to customize that theme, to change the colors and to change the background images and all that stuff. So here we have a couple of different themes. And if we go to the options, then the first one is on submit. What you want to do on the submit, here we have a couple of different options. Open URL, so you can just type a thank you page URL or your booking page. So whenever this form gets submitted, they will be redirected to this URL. Or you can just type in a custom message, which will be shown as soon as they submit the form. Or you can just do the order confirmation. It will be only required if you have added any products inside here. So when they submit, they will go to order confirmation, where they can see what products they have purchased. So I'm gonna keep this as thank you message. And then the next one is Facebook Pixel ID. If you want to connect this form with your Facebook ad, and you will be able to add the Facebook Pixel ID here, and then this form will get added to your Facebook ad campaign. And then the next setting is as well for the Facebook Pixel events. If you want to, trigger any event, here we have a couple of different options for all the Facebook events. So you would be able to select that from here. And then there is a form settings. The first one is sticky contacts. The sticky contacts mean if the lead is coming to this form from any previous page where they submit some of the information. For example, you have an opt-in form with the full name and email and phone. And as soon as they get submitted, they will go to this form. So in that case, their previous information will get automatically filled into the information that they have entered. So in case in the opt-in form, if they filled out their name, email, and phone, and then when they submit, they come to this form, their name, email, and phone will get automatically filled. So that's what it doesn't mean by sticky contacts. And then use GDPR compliant font. So if you just turn this on, your font will get GDPR compliant. And then enable time zone. If you just turn this on, if you just hover on this, it's going to show you activating this option will capture the time zone information of the individual submitting the form. So the whatever time zone they have on their browser, it will get automatically captured from this option. So it's always recommended to actually turn this on so that you have their time zone. And if you want to send them any kind of communication, SMS or email, so you can just select between their working hours like 9 to 5 p.m. So this was all about the options. And then here we have the option to preview, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then here we have the integrate option. So if you want to integrate this on your funnel or website within GoHighLevel, we have different options here to select from. So this is sticky sidebar, so your form will get sticky on the left side even if they scroll throughout the page. And then this one is polite slide in, which is going to show you like this with an animated effect. And then there is a pop-up if you want to show this form on the pop-up. And then there is the inline. And then here is the trigger type shown scrolling. It will get only show once they scroll, or you can just do show after like 10 seconds. So after the 10 seconds, when they have landed to your landing page, after 10 seconds, this form is going to show up. Or when you to always show, so your form will be always showing on the landing page. And then here we have the activation options like activate on. Here you can just select activate on two visits. So it will get only this form will be only displayed to your customers for first two visits. On the third visit, this form will not be displaying. So this is more likely useful if you are running any kind of offer. So you don't want that offer to show up in front of your customers every time. So always deactivated mean it will be activated on every visit. And then deactivate option is deactivate after showing. That means if we just do here 2 times, so it will get automatically deactivate after showing 2 times, and then deactivate once the lead is collected. Once the lead has submitted this form, then this form is not going to show up in front of that lead. Or never deactivate means this will never get deactivated. And then you can just get the embed code from here if you want to embed this form outside of GoHighLevel. If you want to use this within GoHighLevel, you can still use the embed code, but there is a better option to select this form right from the GoHighLevel funnel or website builder. But this is mainly used if you want to use this form outside of GoHighLevel, like on your WordPress website or you're outside of GoHighLevel. And then this is you can just copy the link of this form, so maybe to use inside your emails or anywhere. So this was the integration settings. And then once we save it, then you can just click on preview to get the preview of the form. So let's see how all the custom fields are going to look like. So this is the first name, and if you see, this is not required, but this one is required. You can also change the settings of all the fields to get mandatory, which is going to be here. If you just select this required, so the customer cannot submit the form unless they fill out this question. So that's how. And if you do the title, you are able to type anything right here, because that's what the single line. And then inside the description, you can type however you want it to be. And then there are brand colors. You are able to type both options here. And then inside the account number, we can only type the numbers. If I want to type any alphabet, I'm not able to type. So, and then this was the phone field. The country picker was enabled, so you can just select any picker and you can just type in your phone number. And then here, this is the monetary, so you would be only able to type you know uh, numeric, because this is monetary type. And then what state do you live in? This was the single option, so you are only able to select one option. So if you select California, or if you want to change it to Alaska, so only one option will be selected. But on the other hand, on the multiple options, you would be able to select like multiple option. For example, if I want to select like this, so you are able to select 3 or like multiple options. And then this was the radio, so you are only able to select one of them, but in the checkbox you can select as many as you want. And then this was the anniversary, which is going to show up a calendar, so you would be able to select any date, because this was the date picker field. And then here you are able to attach any document that we have displayed. For example, if you can just upload this PNG. And then inside the signature, you are able to do your signature like this, and then you can just clear it from here. And then this is the capture. And then there is a button, and on the bottom you have so you will have to select this in order to submit the form. And then you are also able to customize this button if you want, which would be very simple. You go to just this, and then you are able to change the text, which is gonna say, let's say, submit. And then here you would be able to change the styling and the layout, alignment, and all the things right from here. And then you can change the background color like from this. So that's how. So as soon as they submit the form, the information will be showing up inside the contacts. So this was pretty much about how to configure the forms. Now let's just talk about how we can configure the surveys as well. So are not much differences inside the surveys as well, but let me just explain what are all the differences inside the forms and survey. The builder is gonna look like pretty much same. So if I just do this, add survey, choose from scratch. I'm gonna call it my first survey. And then if you see here, we are able to add multiple slides. So for example, and the rest of the information is same other than the conditional logics. Inside the survey, we do have conditional logics, but it's on the different place, so which I'm gonna show you in a second. And the same custom fields, we can use them right here as well. For example, this, and then this, and then here we can add the next slide. Some of the questions we are gonna ask them on the next slide, like this. So you are able to add as many slides as you want. And then when you go to in options, right here is where you can have different settings. So these are the differences. What we can do is so the first one is create contact on partial submission. That means if they have only submit first slide, but there has to be their email or phone field required, because GoHighLevel will create contact based on either email or phone. So if on the first slide we have asked for their email or phone and they have just submitted the first slide and then they left your survey on the second or any other slide, if you want to still create their contact, so if you just turn this on, it's going to create a contact. And here it is explained how it works, but this is exactly how I explained. And then on submit, what you want to do here, on submit, it's the same kind of settings. You can either select a message or you can select open URL. So and then disqualified immediately, what we can do, so these are the main differences as compared to the forms. So disqualify immediately if we have a question. For example, if we do this one, what state are you living? And when we go to this custom field here, we can do what we want to do. If they select, these are the place where we actually install or configure the conditional logics for survey. So for example, if I say, if they select California, I want to disqualify immediately, or I can disqualify them after submit. So the difference between these two is disqualify immediately. As soon as they select that option and they hit next, they will get disqualified. Or if I do disqualify after submit, they will still be able to complete the whole survey, but in the end they will get disqualified. So if I select this, so what's going to happen, if a customer selects California as an option to this question, they will get disqualified immediately. And then inside the option, inside the option I can select what I want to show them if they get disqualified immediately. Either I want to show them message or I want to open up a URL. So the same thing happens with the disqualify after submit. So what I want to display them if they get disqualified after submission. And then these two are the same settings as I explained inside the form. Then the survey setting is pretty much the same as I explained inside the form. And then there is a footer settings. Footer means this whole kind of settings. So if you want to add it, you are able to add any kind of custom JavaScript or CSS or HTML to customize this uh, footer. So let's just save this. So these are the pretty much differences between the forms and survey. The main one is you can have multiple slides inside here. So if you go to slide, let's see if there is any. So these are the footer which you can enable, and here we have the different options. If you want to enable progress bar, you can just enable it. And then I think to enable the progress bar, we will have to make it one question at a time, which would we can do inside let's see, I think it would be under the style. Let's see, footer, now colors, miscellaneous. This is the same kind of settings. If we go to advanced, that is related to the advanced settings. Let's see, if we go to options and we go here, disable. So this is one question at a time. That means you don't need to actually create the slides. You can have everything on one slide like this. And let me just delete this one. And now we can enable one question at a time. So right now it shows you right here that it's only one slide, but when we will preview it, it will only show one question at a time, which I'm going to show you in a second. Once we save that, now we should be able to turn that on, which is uh, enable progress bar. So now when we take the preview of this survey, let's see, let's take the preview of this survey. So this here you see we are only seeing one question at a time. So we'll have to click next and there will be one question at a time that will be displaying. Yeah, so that was the whole overview of form and survey. So hopefully this video will help you. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can get all the new updates from me. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
The GoHighLevel boy, Ahmad.
Ahmed at the GHL Boy.
GHL Boy,
Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you to the rest of your team.